Hey guys, this is Gunther from timelapse.com, and today I'm going to introduce the DitoGear OmniSlider. It's a slider you can use for time-lapse and video. Patrick from DitoGear was so kind to send me one to make a test for you. Okay, the slider comes in this package here, so it's a bit heavy as well. It's around about 20 kilos with all included. So let's open up that box and let's have a look what's inside. Okay, first thing is we have a big battery pack here. It's a lot of power inside. So first thing is we have to connect the cables here. Okay, then we have 2 feet to put the slider on top. And we have a controller. And a lot of cables. This is a camera connector cable here, and we have the charging units as well inside the box. So everything is nicely packed inside this one box. And last but not least, this is a slider unit itself. So it's quite heavy and sturdy. So let's put it here and let's attach it to the feet. So this is pretty easy. You just have to fix the screw here and the other way around here. And that's what's cool as well is that you can tilt the feet. So if you attach them here, you can pull them out a little bit and then you can tilt it. So you can use it this way for tilted shots if you mount the other side on a tripod, for example. Then first thing you have to do is you have to attach the cables. And this is pretty foolproof because every connector comes with a different count of pins. So if you have a look at those 3 connectors here, you can't miss the right one. So the power unit is the upper one with the 2 pins, and this one here has 8 pins. So the only option is to put it here and you can screw it on. So this is pretty professional way of attaching those connectors here. And the last one here is for the camera. It's with 4 pins. Okay, now that you have connected the controller, first thing you want to do is to make a quick calibration. To calibrate it, I go to the settings menu and click on calibration, and then it tells me to move the trolley close to the motor and press a button, and that's what I'm doing here. So that's it. The other thing is you can tell him how long your slider is. So if you have a 1 meter unit like this one, you put 1 meter inside the settings, and you might as well use 1.5 or 2 meters. That's how the dollies are delivered. So this, you only have to do this once. Okay, now I'm going to mount my camera here. It's a standard ball head. You can just screw it on, detach it, and then we put the camera on top. The most simple thing you can do is do a free ride And that's pretty easy. You have this joystick here, and then you can move the camera and you have those two knobs here. With the left one you can adjust the speed. So if you turn it to the left it's slower, turn it to the right it's quicker. And with the right one you can adjust the damping. So if you turn it up, the camera will start slowly and accelerate, and if you release it again it will stop slowly again. So this is the main menu of the controller, and you can see the different options here: video, time-lapse, stop motion, go to, and the settings I just used to calibrate the unit. Okay, let's start with the video mode. So you just click here, and then the first thing is you have the free ride here. When you are in the free ride mode, you can just move the camera like I showed you before. Okay, when you click the button, then you end the free ride. Here you have the option of motion recording as well. I'll show you this a little bit later. The second thing is time-lapse, and you have two modes for time-lapse. You have the continuous mode and you have the shoot move shoot mode. Here it's called drive shoot drive in this controller. So let's do this, and here you can do all your settings. You can set the exposure time, let's say to 2 seconds, or you can either let the camera define the exposure time, and then you set the interval. Let's say this is 3 seconds, and now you can set the number of shots you're going to make. So let's assume we plan to make 350 shots, and the direction, do you want to go left or right, and the time is now calculated based on your settings you just did, so it's 29 minutes in this case. So if you change the number of shots here, say 450, then the new time is 37 minutes. It's being calculated automatically, and if you change the time, can decrease the time here. Say you only want to shoot for 30 minutes, and then you see the number of shots is calculated accordingly, and now it's 368. So this is pretty straightforward and pretty easy to use. Then you hit on go and your time-lapse will start. In this case I'm going back, and let's have another look at the video menu to be able to record a motion. So here we have the option for motion recording. We click this, and then we can move our camera using the parameters we just set with the knobs here. So you set the damping, you set the moving, and let's say we start at this position. So I go to motion recording once more, and now I record my motion. I go once to the other side, then I stop, damped, and I go back, stop in the middle, and accelerate again. So this motion has now been recorded, and I click on stop here, recording saved, and then I can play it back using different speeds. So either in real time, that's what I do now to show you. First thing is go back to the home position. That's here at the beginning, and now I click on OK, and click on real time, and now it's playing back the motion I just recorded with all that acceleration, deceleration, and a little bit stopping a little bit in the middle and going back. So this is only an example, but it shows you the capabilities of this unit. So real-time playback ended. Now you can use the same recorded motion to play it back in slow motion, to use it for stop motion animation, or to use it for a time-lapse shooting. And here you have again those two modes here, time-lapse continuous and drive, shoot, drive, or shoot, move, shoot. So I'm going to the last one, and now it's pretty easy to set the exposure, interval, the number of shots, and the time here, and then hit on go, and the controller will use the same recorded motion to play back your time lapse, only that it will take much longer to do this. So this was only a short introduction in the capabilities of the DitoGear OmniSlider. What's most impressive, in my opinion, is the build quality of this unit. It's very sturdy, and it's very impressive how this motor can travel either very slow and very precise or very fast, and it is strong as well. So I can even tilt the whole unit and then push my camera up, and this is going as fast as if it's in a horizontal position. So the motor is not, let's get rid of the damping, the motor is not slowing down in any way if I let it go upside down. It's very, very stable and very reliable. Concluding, I can say the DitoGear OmniSlider is a very, very sturdy, very well built and very professional unit. You have those professional connectors here. You have the unit that doesn't tremble in the wind. It's very, very stable. The only thing that's trembling here is my table. But the unit itself, it seems like it will last 10 or 20 years. So for anyone who plans to use a slider in a studio or is always traveling by car where the weight doesn't matter, this is a very good slider because it allows you to very precisely define your movements. You can use it for video, you can repeat those movements, you can even combine the video with time-lapse, so you can first make a video sequence and then make the time-lapse sequence using the same track you defined before, and then fade one into the other. That gives very cool effects, and the controller as well is very easy to use. But on the downside, this is really heavy. It's not expandable, like for example the Dynamic Perception Stage 1, where you can buy extension rails to expand it if you want. This one is either 1 meter if you bought it in 1 meter, or it's longer, but then you always have it longer. Another thing is you only have one axis, so it's only the slider. If you want to pan or tilt your camera, like I showed you with the Emotimo, you might either buy an Emotimo and put it on top here, or you can as well buy a 2-axis head from DitoGear as well. But the equipment is made for pros and it's a bit costly in my opinion. So for the slider, it's around about $2,500 US, and if you want the head to be able to do 3-axis movements, then you have to invest the same again. So this is a different story than if you talk about some other cheaper products on the market, but on the other hand, the cheaper products are not so sturdy, are not so well built, and so it's up to you. You have to decide where your focus is and what you want to use when shooting time-lapse or video on a slider. So thanks again to Patrick from DitoGear to giving me this unit for testing, and thank you to you for watching. Again, this is Gunther from LR Time Lapse, and see you soon. Bye bye.